I'm Victoria Vanderzeel here with MSU&U at the Wharton Center to interview Trent Saunders, who plays St. Jimmy in Green Day's American Idiot. So can you give us a general overview of the play and what audiences might expect from American Idiot?
American Idiot is it's a story surrounding these three friends who grow up in suburbs in a post 9/11 society in America, where we have, you know, all this media overstimulus as we do in this day and age, and they feel trapped and kind of need to get out, as happens. So the three of them wind up getting separated and going on three separate journeys. And I kind of come in with the main guy, Johnny. He winds up going to the city and feeling, you know, alone as one can and not connecting with anyone and not sure of what to make of it. And St. Jimmy comes in and shows him a path to walk down of sex, drugs, and rock and roll, and leads him to a girl, and, you know, that he falls in love and leads him down the path of drugs, and it winds up having a very real, you know, side effect. And so I'm not going to tell you what happens at the end, but you know, it definitely deals with those themes, and the three friends wind up coming of age and realizing certain things, and yeah, it's really a good story.
Okay, so what inspired you to pursue professional theater, and specifically what attracted you to a play like American Idiot?
Well, you know, I started as a singer when I was, before I can remember, really, and theater just kind of came naturally, and I've just always loved doing it. I mean, I've always been a musician, so, you know, then to be part of a rock opera that's really so music focused is really cool, because I get to sing stuff that's a little crazy and a little bit out there, and I love that, and I think that's really what's fun for me about this show is that singing, and plus obviously getting to be the bad guy is definitely has its perks.
And so your character St. Jimmy, what can audiences expect from him? Can they get an idea of what he's like just from listening to St. Jimmy?
You know, obviously it's kind of like he's a drug. You know, he's alluring, he's sexy, you know, there's a very real take in this show to drug addiction, and because there's a reason that people stay in it, that stay stuck in it, and I think that's important, because it's cool, because the show deals with that in a very real way, which most shows don't. So we deal with the romantic side, and so yeah, St. Jimmy's romantic. He's sexy, he's charismatic, and that's the truth of a lot of those drugs and how they lead you down that path, you know.
So you would say that the songs on the album are very closely related?
Absolutely. I mean, absolutely, without a doubt. Billy Joe knows what he's talking about when he's clearly from his current, you know, issues, and all our thoughts are with him.
Right. So what would you say is your favorite part of the play?
I think The Death of St. Jimmy is my favorite song to sing. Probably because it's, you know, the most dramatic. But I can't exactly tell you much about it, but it's that's definitely my favorite number to do.
And what's the most challenging part about being a part of this production?
I think overall, for most of the cast members, it's the physicality. The choreography in the show is some of the best choreography I've ever seen in my life, but it's very, very athletic, and it's a lot. And so our guys are panting, and it's really a workout. So I think that's probably the hardest, to be doing the singing, like the scream belting that has to happen in the show, and really dancing hard. And I think that I have the most respect for ensemble, because they do it with flying colors.
Right.
Yeah.
So what would be your most rewarding part for this production?
I mean, honestly, getting to tour around and see places that I've never seen before for my job. I mean, I got to go to the UK and do the premiere of the show there. I get to go to Asia this summer. I mean, it's living the dream, because it's, you know, my job is taking me around the world, which is so much fun, right. You know.
But would you say that traveling is also kind of a challenge?
Oh, of course. I mean, living in hotel rooms is not the easiest thing in the world. It's not like, you know, the most alluring. But but you know, it's part of the lifestyle, and we accept that.
I'm just wondering if you have any advice for anyone who's pursuing theater professionally.
Pursue it. I mean, I mean, I can say that I'm a fairy tale story. You know, coming straight out of college and getting cast in a production and getting to tour. It's pretty unheard of, and so I appreciate how lucky I am in that. But I just tell anyone who wants to do it to just hold on, because it's a bumpy ride. But I mean, obviously, if you're doing it, it's worth it to you. So keep on doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
And just a random question: have you ever met any of the band members from Green Day?
Well, obviously, there were talk of them coming to meet us in the UK, but then Billy Joe went into rehab, but his wife Adrienne has actually, we've seen her multiple times. She comes and
oh, really?
and surprises us sometimes. Yeah, she was actually just with us last week. So yeah, they're there, and they like, their manager has been with us, and they
so their presence
exactly their presence is definitely felt, and they definitely are actively invested in us and in this show still, which is really cool. Yeah.
I guess my last question is, were you a Green Day fan before the play?
I actually wasn't. I obviously had listened to the radio growing up, and everyone had heard about Green Day, and but I remember going to see the show for the first time on Broadway, and the songs just kept hitting me, kept surprising me, and I was like, oh, I know that song. Oh, I know that song too. It was like a slew of songs that I just recognized and I didn't realize. So, you know, I knew Green Day and I knew all the music, but I just was never the person who bought the album and listened to it on repeat, you know.
American Idiot premiered here April 9th through April 11th. To see more shows at the Wharton Center, check out their website. I'm Victoria Vanderzell reporting for MSU&U.